What's going on, Tice? You're cool?
Let's go. 2 minutes after.
All right.
It's just that this is
We're good.
All right. We're good. I heard that.
We gonna roll the intro and go now?
Yep.
I forget what's this about.
Is it the good turtle soup, or is it merely the mock?
Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger.
Is it a cocktail, this feeling of joy? Or is what I feel the real McCoy?
We're live.
Okay. This is Saturday Night Special, and I am live, right? Right? Okay. And we're in the legendary Billy Goat Tavern underneath Michigan Avenue in downtown Chicago. What we're doing here with this live show, it's part of a new streaming service that's called Image Union TV, which has roots in, since 1978. And we started with a show that was something you don't usually see on TV, films and tapes that aren't usually on TV. We're there now again. I want to show you what the first opening was, and this character, Bob, whom we created to be Mr. Man, ordinary guy. Way to go, kids.
Welcome to Image Union.
There you go. Welcome to Image Union again. Let's see, 1978, 22, it's 44 years ago, right? It's still us, several of us who were involved, and we're going to see some of them tonight and talk with them. This is a new streaming service that's now not just a local TV show, but it's seen all over the world. We've gotten, in the short time we've been launched and on, we've gotten views in I think over 40 countries. So it's a whole new thing. I mean, old guys like me can't imagine what it's like to be seen in wherever you are. So, and I'm glad you are there. It's a digital world, and we're part of it. Okay. Where do we start? Are you guys ready to start?
9/11.
Yes? Well, I can tell you that Image Union is serious, it's funny, it's documentary, it's adult animation. We'll be seeing old stuff and something old and something new, something blue sometimes. And it's September 10th. So to commemorate September 11th, 21 years ago, over a third of you hadn't been born, and probably another 6 or 8% were under the age of 5. So we put this video together, kind of a compilation of news footage and work done by independent producers who were really the beginnings of the YouTube generation. So let's see what we got.
Sound like a plane crash.
Hey, Beth. What is that? Somebody hit the World Trade Center or the...
It's a trade
Yes,
center.
the World Trade Center.
hope I live. I hope I live. It's coming down on me. Here it comes. I'm getting behind a car.
Anthony, you okay? Yeah.
Please. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Watch out. I got it. That's good. Okay.
Back to you.
As we got closer to the city and traffic seemed to disappear because of roads being shut off, it was evident that the day had just begun, the incident just begun. It was not going to end with minor casualties and maybe just putting out a fire. But at that time, we still did not even consider the fact that the towers would come down. Something as a child that I saw as something that was indestructible and forever, you know, eternal.
Where are we even going?
We got to get you to the medical station so you can get your eyes cleaned out and I can go back.
Dan, I think I was in the second collapse or an explosion right after that because I was trying to make my way around Stuyvesant High School. I believe that's correct. I'm not a New Yorker. But I was coming toward the World Trade Center looking for CBS crews and asked a firefighter if he saw any. He told me to walk down the middle of the road. All of a sudden, there was a roll, an explosion, and we could see coming at us a ball of flame stories high. He and others screamed, "Run," and I ran. I fell. One of them picked me up. We ran as fast as we could, and then he threw me into the wall of a building and covered me. Forgive me. I am in his debt. You know, Dan, I know firefighters do incredible work all of the time, but this was exceeded anything that I can imagine. He threw me into a wall, covered me with his body. I could feel his heart banging against my back. We were both so sure we were going to die. The flame somehow stopped short of us. But whatever collapsed created, and you saw it in some of that video, Dan, a rain of cinders so thick that you couldn't see this far in front of you and you couldn't breathe. A police officer, and I wish I knew the firefighter's name, a police officer by the name of Brendan Duke grabbed my hand and he and I tried to find our way through it until we could hit a clearing in the light. What you're seeing on the ground here, Dan, was in the air and you couldn't see. And again, we thought we were finished. We somehow got to the light. Another firefighter gave me his mask for a moment so I could breathe. And then I made my way somehow through the smoke into the light to our crews. There was a cameraman there whose head was bloody and he was trying to shoot and set up some of these shots there. The firefighters, the police, the crews, the people streamed toward me as I made my way to the Trade Center, sobbing and crying and trying to call home on dead cell phones, but they couldn't get through. There is so much fear out there even now because of gas main leaks. There was a point at which I watched firefighters run. Someone threw me forward. A paramedic truck let me jump inside and drove me halfway. And then a New York City bus driver opened his doors of an empty bus and drove me here to the broadcast center. To all of them, I mean, citizens of New York and have remained amazingly calm but deeply frightened.
There's small explosions still going on.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. The search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts. I've directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice. We will make no distinction between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbor them.
Well, I live right around here, and I feel like you really need to do something because you're right here, and everyone around you is helping, and it feels...
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Like, look at all these people who have done so much for you. You feel like you're really part of something.
Jamaica?
Yeah.
Thank you.
My neighborhood's called Tribeca. It's like a little village in the middle of a big city. My old elementary school is about 6 blocks from the World Trade Center. Well, yesterday I started the cooking stuff. The cookies were a combination of my mom and my idea.
And don't take it out until you turn it off, or else it'll go.
Woo! 1 bag of chocolate chunks. Starting to look really good. Cookies are really important to people because they're really good. Their energy, their sugar, their 7 minutes. Something you grew up with.
Looks good.
And if you're just coming out of a lot of hard stuff, you really want to have something to make you happy. They've just come out of a disaster zone, and then when they get a cookie, it's like something that their mom used to make them. The helping makes me feel like I'm participating. I'm also someone who's working to make this community back to how it used to be and make our little town kind of normal again, if we're ever going to be normal. There we go, train number 3. Yeah, this is for my family, this is for my friends, this is for all the people who are affected. Yes, I made them. Now you have to take one. All right. Thank you. Thank you. After the tragedy took place, you see all these tired workers and doing stuff all day and people covered in dust. Everything, you really need to do something about it. Thank you. Chocolate cookie, homemade? All right.
How do I resist her? Look at her. How can I resist you?
Well, I hadn't really taken something that was so intense before, and I wasn't sure if I could handle it, but now I know that I'll be able to take care of things like this and do it in a responsible way. Thanks to everyone who is helping.
Hey, that's everything from top to bottom, from the worst to the very best. Cookie Girl. And I have a treat for you because right here, I don't know who's looking at who, but there's Skip Lumberg, who is the master video maker of our generation, a dear friend. And where are you, Skippy?
He's here.
Where is he? I can't hear him. I can't hear him. You look great.
I'm not muted.
No, you're here.
You're here. You're real.
You're on.
I'm not muted.
You're on.
You're on and you're real. And where are you?
Oh, live from New York. It's Saturday Night Special. I'm here in Manhattan. We have a full moon tonight here in Lower Manhattan. And it's the 9/11 special. Is that the deal on 9/10?
Well, at least this part. Yeah. The first. We have a lot of silly stuff coming up too.
Okay, well, it's
Where are you?
9/11 is serious.
Where are you?
I am where I was when I first heard the plane going by.
And
now I have to say, if you want to know the story of that, you have to be careful because the informal etiquette in those days was that whoever was closer would have longer time to tell the story because we all dispersed from the neighborhood during this time. We all lived out here. I lived like 5 blocks. I lived 5 blocks from the site. And
you still do. You still live there.
If you lived closer, yeah, I still live there. If you lived closer, you have longer time to tell your story. So you have to be careful if you're telling your story first. If you weren't closer, they're going to tell the story. So it took forever to get across, to do errands because you ran into people and the stories were incredible of what people did during that time. But anyway, here I am. I heard a plane going by, and it was too loud and it was too low, and it sort of sounded like a vacuum cleaner when you put your hand over the nozzle. A straining sound, and then it stopped. And so I ran to about here, and I looked up, and the World Trade Center had a big gaping hole in it. And I stood there, and it was amazing. There was black smoke coming out, and paper and glass glittering very beautifully. It was such a crisp day. It was an early autumn day, very crisp. It was really back right there where the World Trade Center was.
Very cool.
And it was amazing because people were standing there literally with their mouths open looking at the site. We didn't know it was terrorism at that time. But it was just so astounding that we looked at the site. But the thing is this, I have to say that in this day and age, it wasn't my first disaster. I sort of feel for this whole generation who the COVID now and all this other stuff that's going on simultaneously, it's like the first disaster in their lives. And that's really, I really feel for this whole generation of younger people. How's the lighting on me?
Good. It's good. I think we get what you're saying. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you fine.
So you live exactly where you lived, 21 years ago, still.
Yeah.
And the neighborhood is the neighborhood, and the towers are gone. The tribute museum and all those other buildings are built up where they were, and business is as usual, or is it?
Oh, this is New York. It's a resilient place, and there's a lot of momentum here, and it bounced back amazingly, and then let's see if it's going to bounce back equally from COVID, because it has hit the city really, really hard. Really hard. Well, here's a better view of the moon. Pretty good, huh?
It's amazing. What is that?
That's the moon. It's called the moon.
In the out of doors? Skibby, who knew? Who would know the stuff that you know about it? And the cookie girl is still around. Have you seen her?
I've been seeing her in a while. I mean, the thing, it was a big adventure. Previous disasters I've been in, like the earthquake in Guatemala, that was more like being in King Kong. But 9/11 was like a science fiction movie.
It
was very big. It was grand, a grand scale. The whole neighborhood was taken over. We were walking now, Chambers Street was the beginning of a crime scene. They put a chain link fence down the middle of Chambers Street, and below it, it was the FBI, the Army, the NYPD. There was a chain link fence down the middle of the street.
I love where you are right now. Just stay there and we'll see you later.
Okay.
Thank you, Skippy. You were great. What a shot, huh? It's beautiful. Thanks. Nobody can shoot like you walking down the street.
Am I off now?
Anyway, one of the things, are we ready here?
Yeah. Look at your camera.
All right. One of the features on Image Union, on imageunion.tv, is that we have videos from all over the world that other people haven't seen. Why don't we turn Skippy's off so he doesn't get in my mic? See you later, Skip. So, tonight, tonight we have a video from China, and it's a connection to our Chinese people on the ground. And what happens is that filmmakers in China must work separately, independently, and with great caution, because what happens is that any attraction that they make and the government could find could mean trouble, either halting production or a whole lot worse, scrapping the film or getting in a whole. So our collection, which is permanently on imageunion.tv streaming, has a few pieces from China and Hong Kong, and it's really what's happening there, which is why it's surprising that that we have it and people haven't seen it. So no more. The film we're going to see, the segment we're going to see right now, is called Burning Soul, and Tony Gu Hachao is the producer. It follows the story of a girl who constructs a sorrowful picture and how sad she is and the loss that she has, and it's in the desolate, isolated parts of China that we don't usually hear about. So let's take a look at Burning Soul. Burning Soul. Way to go, guys.
It should be card. That's right.
4:11, right? Tice? 4 minutes.
5:17.
17?
5:17.
Oh.
Quit talking. Quit talking. Tom.
Well, there you go. I'm sorry we didn't actually see the very end of it, right? But here we are. Well, no audio. Wait, can you hear me?
There's audio.
Should I keep going?
Just keep going. Okay, yeah.
All right. Nice to see you, bud.
Howdy, Tom.
Okay. I'm going to tell a story about you, which is, well, first, how old are you?
I'm 21.
You're 21. And you are the genius who puts a whole lot of this stuff together, technically, and bless you for it. But the fact of the matter is, one night we were out to dinner, right? And you said, I've been thinking about it. What did you say?
We were out, me, you, Eleanor, and Nemec, and I had asked you guys, like, what is it that old people even do?
What is it that old people even do? So we've now determined that we will have a segment every time we can to show you some things about what old people do, what old people have done, and what old people were thinking. Okay? And tonight we have a surprise. I don't think you've seen it, have you?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. We've been keeping it from you. It's about twice as old as you. I think we did it in 1981, and the we was Elan Soltis and I put together what we think was one of the first, anyway, mashups ever. And it was before music videos. Okay. And we did it in conjunction with Warner Brothers Records, who wanted to see what would it be like if you did something different than what we do now. And so we called it Eye Contact, Elon and I, and where is it? Can we watch it? This is called Eye Contact. So keep your eyes on the screen, Shoaib.
I have a lazy eye.
Because of the following special broadcast, Dallas will not be presented this evening.
Tonight, this new thing is coming along, television.
And here's that man himself, author by the Cotton Godfrey.
What we're trying to do is see whether or not these characters here and me will make a television show.
Say, kids, what time is it?
Well, this is it. This is the table hopper.
We're the merry Texacomen. Tonight we may be showmen. Tomorrow we'll be servicing your cars. I wipe the pipe, I pump the gas, I rub the hub, I scrub the glass. I touch the clutch, I mop the top, I poke the choke, I sell a pop. I clear the gear, I block the knock, I jack the back, I set the clock. So join the ranks of those who know and fill your tank with Texaco. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing America's #1 television star, the man who has captured America's heart, Milton Berle.
Oh, we're the men of Mexico. We're from Maine to Mexico.
Put a sock in it, will you? Who's this? Where's Jerry?
I told you this morning, Jerry's in the hospital. This is Carl.
Carl. All right, Carl, you know the routine?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? He thinks so.
Listen, he knows. He did it for me in the dressing room.
Well, maybe we ought to shoot this in the dressing room.
Come on, man. He'll be okay.
All right, Carl. Show him his marks and stand by. Place it,
Do the line.
please.
Okay. I clear the gear, I block the knock, I jack the back, I set the clock, I do da 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 da.
Oh, we're the men of Texaco. We work from Maine to Mexico. There's nothing like this Texaco of ours. Our show tonight is powerful. We'll wow you with an hour full of howls from a shower full of stars. We're the merry Texaco men. Tonight we may be showmen. Tomorrow we'll be servicing your cars.
I wipe the pipe, I pump the gas, I rub the hub, I scrub the glass. I touch the clutch, I mop the top, I poke the choke, I sell the pop. I clear the gear, I park the suck, I hump the hump, I watch the clock.
So join the ranks of those who know and fill your tanks with Texaco. Sky Chief, fill up with Sky Chief, and you will smile at the pile of new miles you will add. Fire Chief, fill up with Fire Chief. You'll find a Texaco, the finest friend your car has ever had. And now, ladies and gentlemen, America's #1 television star, Tuesday night's top banana, Burton Pearl.
Every picture has its shadows, and it has some source of light.
Did anyone see you there? Did anyone see your license plate? I don't know.
What about the other boys? Do you think they'll go to the police?
It doesn't matter.
Why should you be the only one involved?
Well, far be it for me to tell you what to do.
What are you trying to preach? Do we have to listen to a sermon now?
Well, I'm only trying to tell him what you mean. You can't be idealistic all your life, Jim. Nobody thanks you for sticking your neck out.
Except for yourself.
Wait a minute.
Accept yourself.
The foaming cleanser.
Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girl. Smoke 'em, then you'll see LS, MFT.
You're traveling through another dimension.
Lean, low, and rarin' to go. The 1958 Edsel. You can see its distinctively different lines. You can feel its tremendous response on the road. Cruising, pulling, climbing. You'll discover the magnificent ability of the world's newest and finest V8 engines. The big new Edsel 475 and Edsel 400. These high compression, high torque engines are just one of many things that make driving an Edsel an experience you'll never forget. You'll shift while both hands stay at the wheel. You'll feel the superb handling ease of this beautifully engineered automobile. You'll discover the wonderful feeling of actually riding on air with new Edsel air suspension. Your Edsel dealer invites you to take a demonstration drive. And remember, of all the medium-priced cars, car for car across the board, the 1958 Edsel is the one that's new and the lowest priced, too.
This is the assumption by El Greco. Is the assumption present in A, B, or C?
report on our weather. Irma Bombeck's weather is coming up in half a minute from Phoenix. Stay with us for that.
I've got a witness. Thank God. That's it.
We're looking good with CBS. Still the
By gray skies and low blue, there's nothing can hold me when I hold you. It feels so right, it can't be wrong. Rocking and rolling all week long. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Grooving all week with you. These days are all share them with me. These days are all happy and free. These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days.
Yeah. Go get it. Bring him in. What's wrong with you idiots? Why didn't you tell me today was election day? All them bars was closed.
In this business, it's 1/3 creativity, it's 1/3 time slot, and it's 1/3 time in history. And Happy Days in the mid-'60s would have died, no matter how good it was or what time slot it was in. It wasn't the time. The time was the 70s, where people were fed up with Watergate and they didn't trust anybody and said, take me back where it's quiet, safe, don't get me crazy here.
Good evening. I'm Ed Murrow. The name of the program is Person to Person. I wonder if we may come in through the window in this fashion.
Walter Cronkite reporting.
You are there. Now when you love, oh, Khalil is time. With every note, your heart will float.
From Abilene, out of the heartland of America. Through the crucial hour of historic D-Day, he brought us to the triumphant peace of VE Day. Now another crucial hour in our history. The big question.
The Democrats have made mistakes, but aren't their intentions good?
Well, if the driver of your school bus runs into a truck, hits a lamppost, drives into a ditch, you don't say his intentions are good. You get a new bus driver.
A paid film.
Good evening from our CBS newsroom in New York on this, the first broadcast of network television's first daily half-hour news program.
And you know, the kids, like all kids, love the dog. And I just want to say this right now, that regardless of what they say about it, we're going to keep him.
The finest king-size cigarette in America today. Smooth, mild, and mellow, and easy on your throat. How about you trying him yourself? Just call for Philip Morris, king-size or regular. Buy him by the carton. You're gonna love him, and we're gonna love you. Hey, what was that for?
You said it so beautifully.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Oh, you want a level, don't you? Yes, yes. Good evening. This is the 7th time I have spoken to you from this office, where so many decisions have been made that shape the history of our nation. Need any more? I'm not going to make the other photographers mad by giving you too many. That's enough, okay? Now, all Secret Service, is there any Secret Service in the room?
Just one agent, Mr. President.
Out. You don't have to stay, do you? If you're required to? Okay. I'm just kidding you. I always try to get leave alone. Good evening. This is the 37th time I have spoken to you from this office, where so many decisions have been made that shape the history of this nation. Each time I have done so to discuss with you some matter that I believe affected the national interest. In all the decisions I have made in my public life, I have always tried to do what was best for the nation. I have never been a quitter. To leave office before my term is completed is abhorrent to every instinct in my body. But as president, I must put the interests of America first. Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
And that's the way it is. I should think this is a first.
It's a really big show.
Sock it to me.
The Mets have done it. The Mets have won. They've won the World Series.
The human drama of athletic competition.
And finally tonight, we have a little music news. If you have thought that disco dancing was just another passing fad, if you thought that the shuffle was as transient as the Nehru shirt, be warned, you are wrong. Here is incontrovertible proof. Disco is now as American as Mom, or, well, I got it upside down. It's in a new record album released today. Mickey Mouse has gone disco.
Disco Mickey Mouse.
It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Good night, Spike.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Jen. Good night, David.
What more is there to say but good night? We've had a few laughs, and it's time for toodaloo. Au revoir, au revoir, and inka-dinka-doo. Good night, folks, and good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
So, we're trying this again. This is not again, it's the first time. We're going to Los Angeles and talk to Elon Foltes, who was responsible for this video you just saw. And I don't know if it's working. Are you there? Can I hear you? Can I see you? Yeah! Hey there, Elon. Hey. I see you now. You're up. So, yeah, we're in the Billy Goat. You've been in the Billy Goat before, right? Are you there? There you are. Hi.
Hi there.
In your living room in the Valley in Los Angeles. So, you just looked at that. We did that in 1981, right? Yes, 41 years ago. Can you hear me? Yeah, what'd you think? Looking at it again.
I don't know what to make of it, to tell you the truth. I mean, it's a jumble of a bunch of different stuff that I worked on, but I think that you helped me put together. So it's sort of, part of it is based on a sort of a brief history of television, which is a lot of old clips and advertisements and stuff like that. I noticed that there was some stuff from a Joel Gold video that he shot in Las Vegas that I happened to introduce Joni Mitchell to, and that she used it for her Shadows and Light video. There was some other stuff from other places that I don't even remember. But, so I can follow bits of it. I remember more of the context of the individual pieces. I don't understand the continuity within the piece at all.
No, I don't think we knew it at the time, but I think we thought it was all stuff that people would like to see. And now somebody like this guy here, who is 21, recognizes very little of it, except it goes into his head of what it was, right? So this is the guy who said, what do old people do? So it's Shoaib, but the guy sitting next to me, I don't know, I guess you can't see him. There he is. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what's the best part or the worst part. We sure had a lot of nicks in there.
Yes, there was a lot of mixing in there from a bunch of different places.
Right.
The best one was, for me, was Socket Jamaica.
Which was on Laugh-In.
Right.
And Laugh-In was the first show that really was made by cutting on videotape things that may or may not have been directly related. That's my take on it. What's yours?
Well, I thought it was a bunch of different skits with a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
Who were reasonably funny, and it was just a lot of camera work, cutting from this person to that person to the other person, and going around the room. And then there were some certain bits that they did, again and again and again and again, week after week. And then there were certain bits that were, sort of bits that you do.
Right.
That we do.
It made some people famous because it was the first time they'd been on TV. Lily Tomlin, Goldie Hawn, and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we going to do?
I think my favorite line is very interesting. That's stupid.
Henry Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, very interesting. Like that? Something like that?
Something like that. But stupid.
All right. What are we going to do with you? Did you eat dinner?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's only 7 o'clock here. Or when it's sometime around 7. I don't know what time it is anymore.
I don't either. It's about 10 here. It's probably almost 8 there.
Okay. So no, I didn't have dinner. Did you?
All right. Well, thank you for making that in the first place, for letting me into your life at that time and now. You're a very dear man.
Okay. You guys should be on camera as opposed to somewhere over on the side. I did a weird frame from this angle.
Yeah, it's just a webcam. We might need to bring it in closer or something because it's really wide.
Oh, is that?
Anyway,
yeah.
That was just a shot. Thought.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we'll. Okay. Next time we'll get it right. God damn it.
That's pretty good.
So what's next? Ciao. Thank you. On it goes.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna go to Weed Woman right now.
So is Skippy.
How about that? We got a little segment.
I can't hear it.
Hold the camera.
Yeah, we got a segment now that is called Weed Woman. She grows her own weed in Michigan. She's an old friend just like you. And this is just a little taste of Donna and what she does. We're rolling a video.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
But wait, everything's impermanent. You know what I mean? They're suffering, but it will change.
Unlike Mr. Ayers and Mr. Van Tatenhove, people who have recovered and evolved from their descent into the hell of fanaticism, Donald Trump has only expanded his big lie to cover January 6th itself. He asserts the insurrection was the real election, and the election was the real insurrection. He says his mob greeted our police officers on January 6th with hugs and kisses. He threatens to take one of America's two major political parties with him down the road to authoritarianism, and it is Abraham Lincoln's party, no less.
So...
You know what's sad?
What?
I'll tell you what's sad. Remember John Boehner? I think he was in Congress.
Yeah.
Remember him? He was a drunk and he cried all the time.
Yeah.
He put many, many kids away in prison for pot. And now you know what he is? He's a CEO of one of the biggest cannabis conglomerates in the country. So that, you know.
What does that mean to you? Fucking two-faced assholes is what it means to me.
It's all over. It's all over. It's all insane. You know? Yeah. It goes, you don't even have to say what it is. It's obvious what it is, you know?
No, it's
But
not.
I don't even know if he probably just still drinks, but...
Boehner, the guy from Ohio who swept the floors in his father's saloon, that guy?
I think so. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. I don't even, you know, now it's all about money. Everything has so changed, and it's all about the money.
Well, why is that different than anything else?
It's sad that it is. I liked it when it was illegal. Because growers made money. People grew, and they had their little businesses, and they, you know, planted it and harvested it and sold it with love and everything, like it should be. And now it's like this commodity.
It's an industry.
It is, and it's insane. It's all about the money, and it's like a whole different animal.
What do you know? You know how to grow stuff.
I am a Buddhist. I'm a Jew-boo who is into not knowing. I don't know. And the two precepts I love, can you hear me? The two precepts I love about Buddhism so much is the first noble truth, not a law like the Jews have, but the first noble truth is there is dukkha, there is suffering. But wait, the second noble truth is everything's impermanent, so it's not a downer. Do you know what I mean? They're suffering, but it will change. And that's how I'm trying to handle my life here amid all the stress and worry about our country and the world.
You're on Tice.
Well, Tice is here. Tice is the main man in this whole business. Tice Jarosel, you're over here. I'm over here.
Yep.
You're going to explain to us what's the core of, I hope you will, of Image Union TV, and how what we did was to set up a website that has all sorts of independent. Well, you just tell us.
What?
Show
Sure.
us the.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll show you the new website. So what we're doing with the new website is really trying to highlight the collection of amazing videos we have. So generally, you'd come to the home page and see our pick of the day. Today, it's actually a bit different because we've chosen to highlight that the Saturday Night Special is live tonight. But generally, you'd come here and you'd see an amazing video that we've selected for you on that day, and a little description of that. And then if you scroll down, you'll see lots of carousel sliders with lots of our videos. So here we have Bob's Best, which is some of the best picks. Everything that...
So altogether, there's like columns of a couple hundred of the videos put into categories so people can just zap around anywhere they want. And click
Exactly.
in.
At any given time, there'll probably be about 40 to 50 videos on the site, and those are changing every day. And we're also featuring shows on the website. So we've got about 28 shows, and we had just updated this one today. You'll see a sneak peek of this one in just a few minutes. This is Toying with Time. It's about a 27-minute show featuring 6 pieces from all around the world. And so you can click through and see the individual pieces, or you can watch the whole show. And
let me backtrack for half a sec, because what the individual pieces are and what our videos are is something very different than anywhere else, right? And that's why we're doing it, is to put people's work on artistic, humorous, all sorts of ways that is their own work. You know, in other worlds they would call it art. So far it isn't super commercial, but we don't want it to be. We want it to be things people don't see. And that's what you get by going to imageunion.tv. So I interrupted your process of going through what you got.
Sure, yeah, and then you'll find at any given time 6 of our 28 shows here, and those will also be updated weekly, so you can always find new shows. And what we're also doing, we're specifically highlighting our animation and documentary collections because those are really incredible. So you'll find some of them here. These are some of the highlights from the doc. I'll show you the doc in Animation Nation in just a few minutes. And we're also highlighting exclusive collections that you really only will find on Image Union TV. The current one is, which you saw one of just about 20 minutes ago, was a video from China. And you'll find some sort of oddball genres like psychedelia and conversations we've had in the past with some of our filmmakers, which are really exciting. But let me take you quickly to Animation Nation. You'll find some of the best independent animation really from all over the globe. We've got pieces from Germany, England, Japan, France,
California.
Yeah, lots from California. And they're really beautiful pieces.
Well, they can find out. All they gotta do is click it. This is one of the programs, half-hour shows that you put this one together, actually. There's other people put many of the other ones together, but this one happens to be yours. And we're going to show what, about 3 or 4 different clips, or 5?
Sure. Well, before we get there, let me just show the doc so people know that there's lots of amazing documentaries here. And what we're doing is also putting together an online publication where we're contextualizing some of the stuff that we have in our collection. So for example, right now, you can go read all about the Billy Goat Tavern where we are right now, and why it's important that we're doing it here, and why it's a really awesome space to be doing this show. But yeah, let's get to...
What's it called though, Tyson? What's it called?
Bob's Bulletin.
Bob's Bulletin. Okay, go for it.
Hoy es 15 de mayo de 1995 y es un día muy especial, porque es el día de mi cumpleaños. Por eso, mi abuela Encarna me deja disfrazar de mi animal favorito, y yo me disfrazo de la mejor cosa que ha hecho Jesús con el barro. El caballo. Para empezar el día, mi abuela me obliga a hacer las tareas del hogar. Y después, mientras espero a mis padres para empezar la fiesta, miramos un documental de caballos, que bailan y hacen piruetas todo el rato. Parecen contentos y felices. En cambio, mi abuela no tanto. Son las 5 y mis padres aún no han llegado. Mi abuela no quiere esperar más y decide empezar ya la celebración. Hoy cumplo 6 años. Mi abuela dice que soy así de grande porque tengo gigantismo, que en el diccionario pone que es una enfermedad que produce un crecimiento excesivo de todo el cuerpo o de algunas partes. Cojo aire con todas mis fuerzas, soplo y pido un deseo. Que vengan mis padres y mis amigos y que me quieran para siempre jamás todo el rato. Pero son las 7 y todo continúa en silencio. Son mis padres. No pueden venir a mi fiesta. El día estaba siendo muy aburrido, hasta que descubro algo raro en el regalo de mi abuela. Un mensaje secreto escrito con mi propia letra. En la taza de Terminator, otro mensaje raro. En la cámara, otro. En los congelados, otro. Y en el sitio de los calcetines, un aparato raro. Es la voz de mis padres, las mismas palabras que en la llamada telefónica. Algo raro está pasando y solo se me ocurre una forma de averiguar la verdad. Amenazo a mi abuela Encarna que si no me cuenta lo que está pasando, quemo a Jesucristo. Pongo en jaque a mi abuela. No le queda más remedio que contármelo todo.
Night when we're
du soleil.
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 Soleil. Soleil. Les enfants sont vulnérables face au soleil. Ils ont une peau et des yeux fragiles. Les enfants sont vulnérables face au soleil. Ils ont une peau et des yeux fragiles. Les enfants sont vulnérables face au soleil. Ils ont une peau et des yeux fragiles.
它这个时间是一个什么样的一个特征呢？1970年代，我们这个时代就是我们就是可以说我们整个那种也可以说我们进入到一个消费主义时代，进入到一个那个晚期资本主义时代这个时代的一个共同的特点是什么呢？就是一切事物、一切事件都是属于加速度进行的以至于就是当然有些美国有些理论家，比如说 David Harvey 他就提出了一个很重要的概念，叫做时空压缩什么是时空压缩？就是时间和空间在今天的话大幅度的压缩了，就是很瞬间从美国到中国比尔的作品，我觉得它的核心意义在于哪呢？在于什么地方呢？就是它恰恰是把我们这个时代的速度它是放慢的它恰恰是那种在跟这个高速前进的时代，它在发生抵触，它是在往回拨但是呢，它这个时间的话，它不单纯是一个放慢的一个不单纯是把这个时间放慢了，不单纯是让这个整个影像的话，它变得缓慢起来。还有一点，我觉得还有很重要的一点的话，它的时间它不是均匀的，它一件作品的话，它的前面、后面、中间，就是它的贯穿它整个作品的那种整个进程的话，它有时候时间是很慢的，但是呢，在某一个瞬间，时间就突然加速了然后又。
So that is a sample of what we're doing, which is bringing you lots of videos and crazy and interesting things. It's a new platform. It's a new network, and all you have to do to find it is go to imageunion.tv, and you can see all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't see. One other part that we wanted to do before we're done here tonight is to talk about something that we think is worth watching and is important to see. And so we've chosen a trailer really for a movie that's on Showtime, and I think it's still there, about Dick Gregory, who was one of the most remarkable characters and people I've ever known or had anything to do with in the movie. I'm so glad they made a movie about him, and everybody who doesn't know about him would do well to at least watch the trailer and go see the movie. So let's look at the 2 minutes from Showtime and see if you want to like it as well as we did.
When they say this show features living color, you better believe it.
Dick Gregory was one of the greatest political comedians to ever live.
In about 6 more months, they're going to be forced to hire Negro bus drivers in Mississippi, so we growing steering wheels so they can drive from the back of the bus.
His stage presence was so smooth.
Dick Gregory changed the entire landscape of stand-up comedy.
Football's a fair sport for my people. Only sport in the world a Negro can chase a white man and 40,000 people stand up and cheer.
Damn, he's talking to these white people like that.
He just spoke his truth.
What's overlooked is how unafraid he was.
Are you out to give people a good laugh? Are you out to make a very definite point? I happen to believe that you can't laugh social problems out of existence.
Dick knew how to take a heated issue, bring humor, and move forward. It encouraged people.
I think people get confused and think that he was an activist who decided to be funny. No. His soul was that of a stand-up comic. He just could not do that in a world that was falling down around him.
Now, I ran from Chicago to Washington, D.C. to dramatize that there's a need to feed hungry people.
He ran for Native Americans. He ran for women.
He gave so much of himself to a movement, to a people.
He wanted to be a part of the change, and he always fought for that change.
My goal is to really help change the priorities in this country.
No man has given more, asked less, or been more needed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory.
So, pretty remarkable, huh? He was all sorts of things all rolled into one. And he happened to have principles, and he executed on them, and that's what the movie shows, and why we think it's important. Just leave it at that. One of the things we also want to do and will do here, and will continue to do on Imaging and TV, is show stuff that you can't put that on TV. Well, we aren't on TV in that way, and it's a new world, and so what we've done is created a section of little videos that we've gotten from other people, and we've called them Body Videos. Body Video.
Hi, I'm Danielle, and I'm reading Still Life with Woodpecker by Tom Robbins. So redheads are either demigods or potential demigods. That's nice, I like that. She kissed his ear, she pinched his buttocks. One thing was for sure, you and I make love better than ordinary mortals. Perhaps Galita was remembering the stuff her royal employers used to snort in the good old days, the days when she would watch the swans sailing. She would watch the swans sailing around the castle moat, never dreaming one day, froglish, she would sail a moonlit ocean with a cargo of goofiness and love. The sloop reached Honolulu on Saturday afternoon. The following morning, Bernard Mickey Wrangle, listed once again as T. Victrola Firecracker, flew home to whatever stings and honey awaited them in the vibrating American hive. Who knows how to make love stay? 1. Tell love you're going to Junior's Deli on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn to pick up a cheesecake. If love stays, it can have half. It will stay. 2. Tell love you want a memento of it and obtain a lock of its hair. Burn the hair in a dime store incense burner with a yin-yang symbol on 2 sides. Face southwest. Talk fast over the burning hair in a convincingly exotic voice. Remove the ashes of the burnt hair and use them to paint a mustache on your face. Find love, tell you are someone new, and it will stay. Wake love up in the middle of the night, tell it the world is on fire, dash to the bedroom window, and pee out of it. Occasionally return to your bed and assure love that everything is going to be all right. Fall asleep, and love will be there in the morning. My name is Danielle, and that was Still Life with Woodpecker by Tom Robbins.
Perfect.
It's king-size old gold. Yes, the crowning treat of all king-size cigarettes, king-size old gold. And now, friends, here's the gal who made it all possible, who started the whole thing. The treat instead of a treatment, the regular old gold. Wonderful mildness and taste and flavor of Old Gold you'll appreciate even more in king-size Old Gold.
In case you've wondered, this is a whole lot of different things all at once. And if we've confused you, I'm sorry. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you'll have suggestions for the kinds of videos that you make or that you like or that you think we should put on. And most likely we will, because that's part of what we have in mind, and that's what we will do and what we want to do. So get those videos coming in. And all I can say is thanks for watching, and thanks for all of you in the room. Yeah. Thanks to Shoaib. There's our man. Nemec. Yeah. Tice. And the person who keeps everything right, Jamie Caesar. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. You never know. Yeah?
Swing with us, so everybody come on and sing with us. The fat, the feet, the Fuji with the forehead floor. The fat feet, Fuji with.
So this is a very special night, and a very sad one, and a very difficult one in other ways, and joyous in another way. Mary Frances Beck celebrated her 102nd birthday on September 1st. And 9 days later, she died. And we dedicate this show and this program to Mary Frances, who made a lot of people's lives very much better, including mine, and my colleague Jamie and hundreds of other people. She was a real, genuine, wonderful woman, a lady.